Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into one of the world's most enduring and chilling mysteries, the Bermuda Triangle. What is it about this specific patch of ocean that has captured our collective imagination for decades? Is it a place of strange forces, a graveyard of ships and planes, or just a myth that's spun out of control? Let's sift through the facts, the theories, and the legends to find out. First things first, where exactly is the Bermuda Triangle? It doesn't appear on any official world maps. It's an area loosely defined by 3 points: the coast of Florida, the island of Bermuda, and the island of Puerto Rico. When you connect these dots, you get a vast triangular slice of the North Atlantic Ocean, covering roughly 500,000 square miles. It's also known by a more ominous name, the Devil's Triangle. And for good reason. For over a century, this region has been the backdrop for some of the most baffling disappearances in maritime and aviation history. The legend truly began to take shape in the mid-20th century, fueled by a series of unexplained events. We're talking about dozens, some say hundreds, of ships and aircraft that have vanished, seemingly into thin air. One of the most famous cases, the one that truly cemented the Triangle's terrifying reputation, is the disappearance of Flight 19. On December 5, 1945, 5 U.S. Navy Avenger bombers took off from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, for a routine training mission. These were experienced pilots in state-of-the-art planes. But a couple of hours into their flight, something went terribly wrong. Their compasses started malfunctioning. The flight leader, Lieutenant Charles Taylor, was heard over the radio saying, "Everything is wrong, strange, we can't be sure of any direction. Even the ocean doesn't look as it should." They were lost. What happened next is even stranger. A Martin Mariner rescue plane, carrying a crew of 13, was dispatched to search for them. But shortly after taking off, that rescue plane also vanished from radar. It never returned. In a single afternoon, 6 aircraft and 27 men disappeared without a trace. Despite one of the largest air and sea searches in history, not a single piece of wreckage, not one life raft, was ever found. It was as if the sky had just swallowed them whole. And it wasn't just planes. The history of the Triangle is littered with the ghosts of lost ships. Go back to 1918, during World War I. The USS Cyclops, a massive Navy cargo ship over 540 feet long, was sailing through the area with more than 300 people on board. It was carrying a heavy load of manganese ore. The ship sent no distress signal, no SOS. It just disappeared, vanished. To this day, its final resting place is a total mystery. It remains the single largest loss of life in U.S. naval history, not involving combat. Then there's the Sulphur Queen, a tanker ship that disappeared in 1963, and the list goes on. Each story is eerily similar. A routine journey, a sudden silence, and then nothing. So, what were these pilots and sailors experiencing? Survivors of near misses in the Triangle and the final radio transmissions from those who vanished tell chillingly similar stories. They speak of bizarre phenomena, compasses that spin wildly, electronic equipment that suddenly fails for no reason, and radios that fill with static or go completely dead. Some have described a strange, disorienting electronic fog that seems to appear out of nowhere, engulfing their vessel or aircraft. Pilots have reported losing all sense of time and space, with instruments going haywire and visibility dropping to zero in an instant. It's a recurring theme, a sudden, inexplicable loss of control and navigation, followed by a terrifying silence. It's these first-hand accounts that make the mystery so compelling and so frightening. Of course, the scientific community has been working hard to find rational explanations for these strange events. and they have some pretty interesting ideas. One of the most popular scientific theories involves methane gas. The theory goes that vast deposits of frozen methane gas, called methane hydrates, are trapped under the seabed in this region. If there's a shift in temperature or pressure, these hydrates can rapidly thaw and erupt, releasing a massive bubble of gas. Scientists have shown in labs that if a ship is sailing over one of these eruptions, the water density can drop so dramatically that the ship loses buoyancy and sinks like a stone in seconds. It would happen so fast, there would be no time to send a distress call. While this explains how a ship could vanish, it doesn't really account for the disappearing planes. Another explanation points to the area's unique geography and weather. The Bermuda Triangle sits in a region known for its violent and unpredictable weather. It's where tropical storms and hurricanes form, and the Gulf Stream, a powerful ocean current, can create sudden and extreme changes in weather. Rogue waves, which can reach heights of over 100 feet, are also known to occur here and could easily swallow a ship whole. Furthermore, some scientists have noted that the area is one of the few places on Earth where true north and magnetic north align, which could potentially confuse compasses. However, navigators have known about this for centuries and are trained to compensate for it. So, while extreme weather and magnetic anomalies are valid dangers, do they explain every single case, especially the ones that occurred in perfectly calm conditions? Many researchers argue that human error is the most likely culprit in a majority of these incidents. A simple miscalculation, a mechanical failure, or a moment of panic could lead to disaster in this challenging environment. But let's be honest, these scientific explanations just don't capture the imagination in the same way as the more speculative theories. This is where the mystery really takes on a life of its own. For decades, people have proposed some truly mind-bending possibilities. The most popular, of course, is alien abduction. The idea is that the Bermuda Triangle is a hotspot for extraterrestrial activity, a sort of cosmic drive-through where aliens stop to pick up human specimens and our technology. Another wild theory suggests the existence of a time warp or a portal to another dimension. Could these ships and planes not be destroyed, but simply transported to another time or another reality? And then there's the idea of a lost, advanced civilization, like Atlantis, lurking on the ocean floor. Proponents of this theory suggest that leftover Atlantean energy crystals or technology could be interfering with modern vessels. However, it's crucial to look at the other side of the coin. Skeptics and investigators have pointed out some major holes in the Bermuda Triangle legend. They argue that many of the stories have been sensationalized and exaggerated over the years. They claim that the number of disappearances isn't actually that high when you consider the sheer volume of traffic that passes through this incredibly busy area. It's a major shipping lane and a popular route for commercial and private flights. Statistically, they say, you'd expect a certain number of accidents to happen here, just as they do anywhere else in the world. Coast Guard records, for instance, don't show any unusual frequency of incidents in this particular zone. In fact, many of the mysterious cases have since been solved or have perfectly logical explanations that are often left out of the popular retellings. Bad weather, mechanical failure, running out of fuel. These far less exciting reasons are often the real cause. So, what does the evidence look like today, in our hyper-connected modern world? With advancements in GPS, satellite tracking, weather forecasting, and communication technology, the number of unexplained disappearances has dropped significantly. We can now track ships and planes in real time, get instant weather updates, and maintain constant contact. This suggests that many of the past incidents were likely due to the limitations of older technology. When a plane went down in the 1940s, finding the wreckage in a vast ocean was like finding a needle in a haystack. Today, search and rescue operations are far more sophisticated. Many of the famous cases, when re-examined with modern knowledge, can be plausibly explained by storms that were not forecasted or by navigational errors that were common for the era. And yet, the mystery endures. Despite all the scientific research, the skeptical deep dives, and the technological advancements, no single explanation seems to fit every single case. The complete disappearance of Flight 19 and its rescue plane without a single shred of evidence remains deeply perplexing. The vanishing of the massive USS Cyclops continues to baffle naval historians. For every case that can be explained away, there's another that leaves experts scratching their heads. The Bermuda Triangle has become more than just a location. It's a powerful symbol of the unknown. It represents the idea that even in our modern world, with all our science and technology, there are still places and events that defy easy explanation. It taps into our primal fear of the vast, powerful, and mysterious ocean. So, what's the final verdict? Is the Bermuda Triangle a paranormal vortex, a scientific anomaly, or just a collection of unrelated tragedies amplified by myth and media? The truth probably lies somewhere in the middle. It's a dangerous stretch of ocean where violent weather and human error have undoubtedly claimed many lives. But the sheer strangeness of some of the reports, the eerie silence from ships and planes that vanished in calm weather, and the complete lack of wreckage in key cases keep the door open for speculation. The Bermuda Triangle remains the ocean's greatest unsolved mystery, a fascinating puzzle that continues to capture our attention and challenge our understanding of the world. What do you think is going on in the Bermuda Triangle? Let me know your theories down in the comments below.